The Honorable Dr. Kishore Shallow, Minister of Tourism, Civil Aviation and Sustainable Development. Honorable Israel Bruce, Minister of Agriculture, Forestry and Rural Transformation. Senator Honorable Laverne King, Minister of State in the Ministry of Education, Vocational Training and Innovation, Digital Transformation and Information. Mrs. Safia Hornbeek, Director, CEO of the Zero Hunger Trust Fund. Dr. Tamira Brown, Permanent Secretary, Ministry of Tourism, Civil Aviation and Sustainable Development, senior public servants and other government officials. Mrs. Joycelyn Blake Brown and other members of the ZHTF Board of Trustees, Mrs. Laura Anthony Brown, former Chief Executive Officer of the Zero Hunger Trust Fund, multilateral, regional, and international development partners, including the World Food Programme, represented here by Mr. Fidel Monsieur, Head of Operations, Food and Agriculture Organization, represented by Dr. Colleen Phillips, FAO National Correspondent, CADI Country Representative, Mr. Donowa Jackson, Head Taiwan Technical Mission, Mr. Kevin Lin, National Development Partners, members of the Youth in Agriculture Network Steering Committee, ZHTF Implementation Partners and Beneficiaries, including Ms. Mishka Edwards Porter and students, Dean of the St. Vincent and the Grenadines Community College, Ms. Roslyn Marshall, Principal of the Calico Anglican School, and students, members of the media, specially invited guests, distinguished partners and supporters of the ZHTF, and for those joining us in the digital sphere. Good morning. Good morning. It is indeed an honor to acknowledge your presence here with us this morning, especially the youths. It's great to see you here. Particularly as we bring this media launch to an official start. This launch marks the first in a series of events towards our commemoration of the ZHTF's 10th anniversary, which will be celebrated in April. My name is Ms. Kimet Robertson, and I will be your chair for this morning's proceedings. We first welcome Ms. Alanda Moses, Senior Project Officer in the Zero Hunger Trust Fund, to provide you with some brief welcoming remarks.
The Honorable Dr. Kishore Shallow, Minister of Tourism, Civil Aviation and Sustainable Development. Senior Honorable Senator Honorable Laverne King, Minister of State in the Ministry of Education, Vocational Training and Innovation, Digital Transformation and Information. Mrs. Safia Hornbeek, Director, CEO of the Zero Hunger Trust Fund. Dr. Tamira Brown, Permanent Secretary, Ministry of Tourism, Civil Aviation and Sustainable Development. Senior public servants, Senate and other government officials, Mrs. Joycelyn Blake Brown and other members of the Zero Hunger Trust Fund Board of Trustees, Mrs. Laura Anthony Brown, former Chief Executive Officer, Multilateral, Regional and International Development Partners, World Food Programme, represented by Mr. Fidel, Head of Operations, Food and Agriculture Organizations of the United States, represented by Dr. Colleen Phillips, FAO National Correspondent, CADI Country Representative, Mr. Donowa Jackson, Head of the Taiwan Technical Mission, Mr. Kevin Lin, National Development Partners, members of the Youth in Agriculture Network Steering Committee, ZHTF implementation partners and beneficiaries, members of the media, especially invited guests, good morning. Good morning. My apologies. But the technology seemed to be failing this morning. I'm sorry. All right. So this morning's program is a culmination of the ZHTF journey from 10 years ago. In 2016, the ZHTF was launched as a part of a trust towards ensuring that St. Vincent and the Grenadines' food security was in good hands. As a result of that trust, the government decided that the ZHTF would be born. And so we are here today. This year, we celebrate 10 years of establishment, and throughout that mission, throughout that journey, we did not do it alone. We had our partners, our students, our farmers, our beneficiaries, all of whom were an important part, a critical part of that journey that brought us here. And so all of us, we come together today. We welcome you, our developmental partners, everyone who is present here, our students, particularly those from the Kaliakwa Primary School, the St. Vincent Technical College, media, our media in particular, because without that message getting out to the wider community, we would not be able to accomplish what we set out to do this year. April the 6th is the anniversary, the 10th anniversary of the ZHTF, and that month of activities bring together celebration. We are going to go into our communities. We want our partners to be involved, private sector, civil society, our churches, our schools, and that is why we have quite a wide range of stakeholders here this morning. So yet again, we welcome you, and we pray that this morning's proceedings would allow us to band together as we continue to go on the journey that we set out for ZHTF in the next decade to come. Thank you very much, and I'll now give way to CEO.
And now I would love to invite Mrs. Joycelyn Blake Brown, Deputy Chief Education Officer, and also a member of the ZHTF Board of Trustees, to present to you 10th Anniversary Overview, 10 Years of Impact, Visioning for the Next Decade.
Pleasant good morning to everyone. Good morning. Especially Honorable Dr. Kishore Shallow, Minister of Tourism, Civil Aviation, and Sustainable Development. I'm not seeing Minister Bruce here. Maybe he's on his way. I know I spoke earlier to Senator Laverne King, and she was not feeling well. So I would like to apologize for her absence at this time. I'm not sure if she'll be able to make it at a later time. Mrs. Safia Hornbeek, Director CEO of the Zero Hunger Trust Fund. Dr. Tamira Brown, Permanent Secretary, Ministry of Tourism, Civil Aviation and Sustainable Development. Senior public servants and other government officials. I see Dr. McBarnett here as well from Global Campus, University of the West Indies. I'm not saying Mrs. Laura Anthony Brown, but I would like to mention her as the former Chief Executive Officer. Multilateral, regional, and international development partners, World Food Program, represented by Mr. Fidel Mansour, Head of Operations, Food and Agricultural Organization of the United Nations, FAO, Dr. Colleen Phillips, FAO National Correspondent, CADI, Country Representative. I'm not seeing Mr. Jackson here, maybe he'll make his way here later. Head of Taiwan Technical Mission, Mr. Kevin Lin. National Development Partners, members of the Youth in Agriculture Network, Steering Committee, ZHTF Implementation Partners and Beneficiaries, Ms. Mika Edwards, Porter and student, Dean of St. Vincent and the Grenadines Community College, Ms. Roslyn Marshall and her students from the Calico Anglican School, members of the media, specially invited guests, and other distinguished partners, and members of the board of the Zero Hunger Trust Fund. It gives me great pleasure to be here at this moment to take this journey with me. A decade of impact, visioning for the future. Today, we do more than mark a milestone. We mark a moment of national reflection. Today, we celebrate more than 10 years of an institution. We celebrate 10 years of national resolve. In 2016, St. Vincent and the Grenadines made a decisive statement. Hunger would not be treated as inevitable. Food insecurity would not be left to chance. And dignity would be protected through policy, structure, and sustained investment. That statement became the Zero Hunger Trust Fund. A fund built on dignity. As reflected in our national messaging, the fund is not simply a financial or financing mechanism. It is a catalyst for dignity, empowerment, and sustainability across all sectors of Vincentian society. And over the last decade, that philosophy has translated into real outcomes. Decade of impact, strengthening our schools. At the heart of our work is the understanding that nutrition and learning are inseparable. Through the Resilient School Feeding Program, which started in 2016, the fund has supported 21 schools, 4,133 students, serving more than 2.6 million meals. Yes, we should clap for that. Behind that figure are children who were able to focus in classrooms, families who felt relief, teachers who saw improved engagement. But this program goes beyond feeding. It integrates local sourcing of produce, school gardens, composting system, nutrition-focused procurement, behavior change education. And I can speak of that behavior change. I remember once visiting the Coutelles Government School, and it was break time. And it was such a lovely experience to see every single student and staff members eating a ripe banana. Not just snacking on anything, but eating a fruit. It is what resilience looks like. Not temporary feeding, but structure, sustainable system. Adopt a classroom, targeted educational support. This program combines books, specialized learning support, school kits, and parent engagement. It addresses hunger and educational inequity simultaneously, because hunger is never just about food. It is about opportunity. This program currently operates across 19 primary schools. And I can vividly remember programs done at the grade 6 level when our students were, our rates were actually below national standards. And 10 primary schools were selected. They received support. Each school, 10 schools, were given a teacher support or teacher aid. And at the end of approximately 6 months of intervention, we saw increased results in our CPA performance that year. And interestingly, those 10 teachers who were paid for by the Zero Hunger Trust Fund, eventually most of them went on to Teachers College and are now currently employed in our education system. Supporting our elderly with dignity. Through the Golden Years Nutrition Program, the fund has supported over 800 elderly persons all across St. Vincent and the Grenadines. This is not just symbolic support. It is predicted and structured. It is ensuring that those who built our nation are not left vulnerable in their latter years. Empowering communities. The National Food Security Drive demonstrates that community-based resilience what community-based resilience looks like in practice. Over 3,000 households were supported. This is empowerment at scale, not dependency, not one-off relief, but strengthening households. Sorry, let me take that again. Not one-off relief, but strengthening household production, diversifying diets, reducing food costs, and building climate-resilient systems. Youth securing the future of food system. Through the Youth Agri-Science Internship Program, YASIP, 75 interns have gained industry experience across businesses and organizations. These young Vincentians learn greenhouse management, farm operations, agribusiness exposure, mentorship, and innovation pathways. 10 secondary schools, including urban schools, have been supported to expand and introduce agricultural science programs. And through the National Youth Food System Framework, we have positioned our youth not just as participants, but as learners, innovators, policy makers in food system transformation. Because food security must be generational. The philosophy behind the numbers. The fund ensures long-term sustainability through 1, strong legislative and public financing support, multi-ministerial partnerships, community-level engagement, local sourcing, and youth capacity building. These are not just isolated interventions. They are pillars of a system, and systems are what endure. Context matters. Globally, food systems are under strain. Climate change, inflation, and supply chain disruption have intensified vulnerabilities, particularly in small island developing states like ours. Recent regional surveys have indicated that as many as 4 in 10 Caribbean households experience some level of food insecurity. That statistic is not abstract. It is a reminder that our work is not finished and that our mandate is more relevant than ever. Over the last decade, Our nation has navigated volcanic eruptions, hurricane, economic disruptions, global food price volatility, and climate uncertainty. In such a context, food security becomes more than a development issue. It becomes a sustainable issue. It becomes a resilient issue. And increasingly, it becomes a national security issue. The work of Zero Hunger Trust Fund has, therefore, evolved from program implementation to system strengthening. At this time, I would like to just pay attention to some very important persons. As we reflect on 10 years of impact, it is important to acknowledge that institutions do not build themselves. The establishment of the Zero Hunger Trust Fund in 2016 under the former government was the result of visionary national leadership, leaders who understood that food and nutrition security required a permanent and structured response. We take this time to honor Mrs. Laura Anthony Brown, even in her absence, who laid the foundation for this fund, setting up the structures, established partnerships, the mission, the vision, and led the implementation of the program for the first half of the decade. We would also like to recognize the early board members who give life support to this mandate. I know Mrs. Laura Anthony Brown is not here, but she will hear us at some point. But if we have board members, past and present, who are with us at this time, I would like for you to stand and be acknowledged. Those board members who are present now, please stand. Don't be shy. I mean, this is 10 years of successful implementation. Thank you very much. We also recognize the stewardship of our Chief Executive Officer, Mr. Derry Williams, whose leadership has strengthened systems, deepened partnership, and positioned the fund not only as a social safety net mechanism, but as a driver of resilience and transformation. Under his guidance, the fund has matured operationally, strategically, and nationally, and is firmly positioned for its next decade of growth and impact. Thank you very much, Mr. Williams. Visioning the next decade. If the first 10 years were about building impact, the next 10 years must be about scaling transformation. We envision stronger data system to guide targeting and accountability, increase local sourcing within safety net programs, climate resilient agricultural integration across schools and communities, expanding youth leadership platforms, building resilient pathways to sustain livelihoods, diversified financing partnerships beyond the telecommunications levy, greater citizen engagement, community, and national ownership. Excuse me. The next decade must be about integration, coherence, and alignment. This anniversary is not a finish line. It is a foundation. We celebrate lives touched, communities strengthened, the partner's journey, systems evolving. Here is a national call. Ending hunger is not the work of a fund alone. It requires private sector partnerships, diaspora engagement, farmer collaboration, youth leadership, media advocacy, community mobilization. Yes, there is a seat at the table waiting for you. Closing. 10 years ago, St. Vincent and the Grenadines institutionalize its fight against hunger. Today, we recommit with deeper insight, stronger systems, and greater ambition. The next decade begins with purpose and commitment for system transformation. On behalf of the Board of Trustees of the Zero Hunger Trust Fund, I thank you for paying attention, for being patient, for a rather long speech. Thank you. But we shall journey together. 10 years of impact, and we are just getting started. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Mrs. Blake Brown, for that very insightful journey into the last 10 years of the Zero Hunger Trust Fund. We were transported and we saw exactly the achievements that the ZHTF has made over the 10 years through its several programs, particularly providing support to the elderly, to youths, and to younger persons, younger children. This is indeed a time for national reflection. Mrs. Blake Brown spoke about the statistics. 4 out of 10, or 4 in 10 households would be faced with the threat of food insecurity, and I think that is something that we need to pay attention to as well. At this moment, we now invite the principal of the Caliqua Anglican School, who is going to speak to some of the impact that has been seen over the years. And this is Mrs. Rosalind Marshall. I'd like to present her as she speaks to the Zero Hunger's work over the last 10 years.
A pleasant good morning to everyone.
Good morning.
And I just want to adopt the protocol that has already been established. I just want to take the opportunity to congratulate publicly the Zero Hunger on your 10th anniversary. Since its inception 10 years ago, Zero Hunger has become a strong and active stakeholder of the Caliqua Anglican School. I recall as I reflect on our tremendous partnership with you. Zero Hunger, you would have done an amazing job with our academic development at our school. I remember in 2017, 2018, Zero Hunger adopted one of our kindergarten classrooms, providing textbooks and uniform to these young learners right through grade 6. This generous initiative, Zero Hunger, would have greatly aided our parents taking the financial burdens from off their shoulders. In having to find and source money at the end of every school year to provide these necessities for their students. Apart from this, we know that students without textbooks, the difficulties and the challenges that they would face. But with being provided with these textbooks, it motivated our students. And these students are now in Form 3 at their secondary level of education. Presently, Zero Hunger again partner with the school to adopt 25 needy students in providing textbooks and uniform to them, right up to the end of their primary education. We publicly thank you, Zero Hunger, for these two great initiatives that would not just have benefited our parents, but the school as well. As I speak of academic assistance that was rendered by Zero Hunger I also want to acknowledge Zero Hunger assistance with our school's feeding program. Zero Hunger continue to provide financial assistance as well as providing fruits and vegetables to our school on a weekly basis. And this would have gone a long way in helping to prepare nutritious meals for students on a daily basis. We all would recall that school lunch or meals would have evolved greatly. I remember those days when we gave our children milk. Do you remember those days? And the biscuits? Huh? And the corned beef? I'm telling you, Zero Hunger, we show deep appreciation for your contribution. Apart from that, school meals, you would agree with me, has become very expensive. It is a real struggle. But with you, Zero Hunger, these struggles are less much burdensome. And we thank you so much for your generosity. Also, with the assistance of Zero Hunger, our school over a few years now, we were able to give about 25 care packages at the end of every school term to these needy students to take home during vacation. We thank you again for partnering with us and making this possible. Lastly, I reflect on another important venture made possible through partnering with Zero Hunger. When I became principal, we embarked on an enhancement of our physical environment at our school. Those of you who are aware of Calico Anglican School, you would know that we have limited space. But what we did, we got tires from the nearby tire shop, we painted them, and we started planting peppers, tomatoes, herbs. And there's a little space in the back of our school. And we enhanced those areas. Zero Hunger came there one time and they were visiting, and I took them around the compound. And they were so amazed at what we were doing. You know, even with the limited space that we had. And they were able to provide seedlings for us, which we are grateful for. Now, apart from that, we thought of enhancing our environmental project with the broiler project. And so I reached out to Zero Hunger, and quickly they gave us 50 broilers. Now we were not able to house all those broilers because the area, the little pen that we provided, we could not, so we took 30. And we were able to use, at the end of those 8 weeks, we were able to get chicken to sauce the kitchen, and also we sold some to teachers to buy fruits and vegetables for students. This year, we also reached out to Zero Hunger because one of these CPA projects, grade 6 projects, we wanted to do the broiler project again. And we reached out to Zero Hunger, and they provided 25 broilers for us. So during the Christmas vacation, we slaughtered those birds. The children were able to take home, teachers, and also we are in the process of making chicken salami as the end product for those projects. Zero Hunger, we honestly await your assistance in providing us with a physical pen that we spoke about, and we eagerly await your assistance, for which I know that you will gladly render to us. We really thank you very much. As I come to my end of my heartfelt thank you and appreciation, I wish Zero Hunger all God's blessing going forward. As you continue to partner not just with the Calico Anglican School, but with schools throughout the nation of St. Vincent and the Grenadines, alleviating much of the real needs among our students, and thus providing or aiding us in our school development. Thank you, and may God continue to bless you richly.
Thank you, and good morning. Good morning, everyone. Good morning. I want to say special thanks to the previous speakers who have been so comprehensive, particularly Mrs. Blake Brown and Principal Marshall. Because of such comprehensive presentation, all that is left of me is just to bring some brief remarks. But I'm really happy to be here this morning. Extremely pleased with the turnout as well. I think we could say that all stakeholders are present here for this lunch. Yes, and that is great. I'm happy, as always, to see the kids as well, the students. So let's give them a round of applause one more time. And allow me also to recognize the presence of Permanent Secretary, Dr. Tamira Brown, and former Permanent Secretary, Dr. Risa Noel Mabanet. Happy to see you as always, and Director, CEO, and the entire team at Zero Hunger Trust Fund. It's an amazing achievement, of course, 10 years. Wonderful, and I'm sure that every single one of you who have been involved in this movement over the last decade, that you all are very pleased with where this program has reached and with the potential that we know are ahead of. 10 years is a remarkable milestone, indeed. I would say 10 years of commitment to dignity, resilience, and a very simple truth, and powerful indeed, is the belief that absolutely no Vincentian should go hungry. And if I borrow the words of the CEO, the Zero Hunger Trust Fund was established with a clear and urgent mission to ensure that no Vincentian is left behind in their ability to access safe, nutritious food. And that is a very critical mission to our nation, of course. And it's something that we have to, one, take seriously, but also be very proud of. This trust fund represents, assistance to the nation and our solidarity. And I thank, critical partners, Taiwan, and all the private sector, of course, who have played a massive part in all we have achieved over the years. It shows, it's a testament of what we could achieve when government, communities, the civil society, and the private sector collaborate and work together, and how we could actually confront one of the most fundamental challenges facing our people, which is indeed food security. It's absolutely no secret. And I think it inspires many other stakeholders, on other initiatives that are so critical to our continued existence. This organization has been built through stalwart contributions over the years, following the conceptualization of the former government, and might I add, supported by then opposition in Parliament when the act was passed in 2016. I won't forget that, of course. But it's good that, you have the two political parties in the country agreeing on something. And I think we could safely say that the Zero Hunger Trust Fund is like that. My first engagement with this initiative, this program, dated back to, I think, 2018, when I was the president of the SVG Cricket Association. And even then, we saw it quite necessary to make a contribution to this program. And we did that then. I remember having conversations with, I think she was chair at the time, Mrs. Laura Anthony Brown. And just speaking to her, it was more than just being the chair. She was so immersed in the program and what it means for St. Vincent and the Grenadines. She extracted a bit more out of her purse because of that speech she gave then. But it showed tremendous passion, and I'm sure others like Mr. Derry Williams and all the board members over the years and staff, they too have bought into it, and I see the same enthusiasm from every single one of them over the years. And certainly it hasn't surprised me why this organization has been so successful over the years, because of the people behind it. And over the past decade, the Zero Hunger Trust Fund has quietly but very effectively touched lives, strengthened households, and support those most vulnerable among us. And for that, I think it is fair that we say a heartfelt thank you to all our partners, donor volunteers, and the public servants who have contributed to this journey. As we look ahead, what's it, 10 years? What's the 10 years and the impact moving forward? And I know, having spoken to the CEO, there's a very comprehensive program planned for April this year. Some very ambitious plans in there as well.
That's what we do.
Yes, exciting times ahead, indeed. But from a government's perspective, we affirm our full commitment to this program, and also intention is to use the opportunity to really see how we could create and make greater impact across the entire country. And with that, I obviously use this platform to encourage all, especially the private sector, to continue giving more to this program that has such tremendous impact. And indeed, once we continue to get the necessary support from the different stakeholders, it will help us to deepen our resolve, that is to innovate, to strengthen sustainability, and to ensure that the Zero Hunger Trust Fund remains more than an inspiration, but what we all have come to realize is a lived reality. And with that, I want to encourage everyone to participate in all those wonderful activities that the CEO and her team have planned for April. I'm not sure if we're going to establish the April 6th as the date just yet, CEO, but for certain we're going to explore that and make it a wonderful day come April 6th. And let us all celebrate in true Vinci style, but really place an emphasis on how critical this program is to every single Vincentian. So congratulations to the Zero Hunger Trust Fund and the entire team. Again, every single one who have played a part in the success over the last 10 years. And I have absolutely no doubt that the next decade ahead presents us with great potential and promise. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
Okay, and we want to thank you. And we want to say thank you so much to the Honorable Dr. Kishore Shaloo, Minister of Tourism, Civil Aviation and Sustainable Development. Thank you for those remarks. And one of the key takeaways in his remarks is the fact that collaboration is very critical for this kind of work that we do. And I hope that was one of the key messages that came across, that we cannot do this alone. We need each and every stakeholder to make this work possible. And it takes vision, it takes commitment. And I'm happy to hear that the Minister has committed to this kind of work and to the Zero Hunger Trust Fund. I'd now like to present Mrs. Safia Horn-Peak, the Director CEO of the Zero Hunger Trust Fund, to provide some remarks.
Permit me to do something that I don't normally do, which is adopting the protocol that was established, because I want to break the protocol a bit. Minister Shallow, thank you so much for your kind words and thanking you for the leadership that you have shown us in your short time with us, and we look forward to the next period where we will develop the work and execute the program of the ZHTF. The reason why I want to break protocol, I'm speaking last, and you have heard quite a bit, so I do not want anybody to fall asleep. But I want to take the opportunity to acknowledge some persons on the protocol. It's long, and it's deliberately long, because what we try to do is show you the multi-stakeholder grouping who has shaped our work and support us for the last 10 years. So I want to do that now, and I want to acknowledge them and ask them to stand as I call, so that you know that their contribution has contributed the work that we have done over the last 10 years, and we look forward to their continued partnership. I would like to first recognize the board members that are here that I've been at the Zero Hunger Trust Fund for the last 3.5 years, and they have been there with me. Ms. Nicole France, Dr. Risa McBarnett, Ms. Kirel Thompson-Forgas. She slipped in, we didn't see her when she came in. Dr. Tamira Brown, the other members were at this time engaged, but I know they will be celebrating with us April 1st. Did I miss Blake Brown? Mrs. Blake Brown, she gave the conference. I want to recognize also some key partners that from inception started to support the work of the ZHTF. I want to recognize the support of the Food and Agriculture Organization. Colleen, please convey our thanks to the FAO. FAO has worked with us with policy, they have worked with us with strategy, they have supported program implementation, and we are very thankful. Mr. Kevin Lin, the Taiwan Technical Mission. Taiwan has been one of our initial partners. When we were doing our apprenticeship programs, they supported these programs. They also supported our school programs. They also supported last year and year before when we started the National Food Security Drive. It was just one call, and we have massive support that allowed us to roll out a very, very impactful program. Please convey my thank yous. I want to recognize the World Food Program. Though my conversation had started, Fidel Mansour, with the World Food Program, when I started the fund, the World Food Program has been at every table, giving their guidance, giving their support, and strategizing and developing programs and projects with us. Thank you so much. We look forward to the next period. Not here currently, again, we have some competing, but I wanted to make sure I mention was CARDI country representative. I want to also make sure we mention ICA. ICA has also lent their support. And my partner in crime for last year, all over St. Vincent and the Grenadines, the Farmer Support Company. She knows why I'm laughing. Please, Charlene, we have been up and down of the country because we saw a need where our people were in danger of not having food, but the quality of the food that they will have after burial, where the agriculture sector was devastated. And we went to the cabinet with a project for National Food Security Drive, and the Farmer Support Company was the company that spearheaded that project with me. Shannon, thank you, and thank you to your team and your board members. Not a lot of our private sector is here. You know, it's a little difficult to get them out, but I want to recognize Bonadi for showing up. Now, we have a program called the GYNS that Blake Brown spoke about, and we could not do this without the support of our supermarkets. There's not a lot of private sector companies that take on this burden, and it wasn't just the GYNS. The GYNS, we give reloadable cards to elderly citizens. They can only purchase groceries with them, and they do that by the supermarkets that partner with us. Not just, they actually send back the receipts and everything for us, so we know what is happening, and we can monitor and we can evaluate the program. So it's very administrative heavy for them, but they jump on board. We have Bonadi, Randy's, and Graves who are doing it on mainland St. Vincent. We have Uncle Doc in Beckway, and I can't remember, sorry, Union Island. Now that we have a little problem, most of the persons from Grenadines shop up here, but we are trying to make sure that that problem is resolved as soon as possible. The schools, Miss Marsha, Miss Kidd, Mishka, well, you're an extension of ZHTF. We have ambitious programs where we want to have agriculture science taught in every secondary school in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. But the college would not let us forget that they are the centerpiece, with people going into the industry, and they have been partnering with us. The schools, again, even with the school feeding, we are very administrative heavy. I'm not telling you any lies. So they have a lot of work to do to report to us about the expenditure and how the program is running, so that we can evaluate, develop, and expand as necessary. Thank you to all of you for your partnership. Just to mention another few that come on every year to support us: Bank of St. Vincent and the Grenadines, OSV, Vinlec, and Geku has just joined that rank, and we thank them so much for their support. That is why the protocol list is so long. And believe it or not, this is not my presentation of the annual of the program. I stand here today privileged as the director and CEO of the ZHTF. I often say this is the most important work I have done in my career, and it's no joke. When you see the impact that you have, because sometimes we work in policy space and you know you're doing policy, you're doing strategy, but you don't see the impact. And for me, seeing the impact immediately is why this is the most important job I have ever had. And we are currently doing work towards the development of a new strategic plan that will take us into the next 5 years. Zero hunger is a sustainable development goal too, and we have international commitments. We have some indicators, we have some targets. Prior to all the things that were mentioned before in terms of the shocks, the climate shocks, the economic shocks, we had reported to the UN that we are on our path to zero hunger. Unfortunately, we cannot say that anymore, but we still are working towards that. I want to acknowledge Kevin Hope, who is helping us and leading us to that strategic process for the next 5 years. His work is cut out for him, but through zero hunger style, we'll get it done. Minister borrowed my words, so I wouldn't bother to repeat them, but our mission is clear. And what began in 2016 as a targeted intervention has grown into a national trusted institution, one that has supported children, elderly persons, vulnerable households, farmers, and youths across St. Vincent and the Grenadines, and can be called a catalyst for long-term resilience and sustainability. We are proud of the meaningful difference we have made in the lives of families, individuals and communities across St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Today, as we mark this milestone and we celebrate under the theme, 10 years of impact, positioning for a decade of system transformation, this anniversary is not only about looking back, it's about activating the next decade to celebrate now where we have come, but also to strengthen our resolves for the future. We are deeply grateful, as I have said, to our partners and stakeholders, and we're looking forward to the next decade where the Zero Hunger Trust Fund remain committed to building stronger systems, fostering more partnership, and advancing innovative solutions to ensure lasting food and nutrition security for our country. And so, this morning, I'm pleased to present the anniversary events and pathways to participation for the next 2 months or so, some leading up in preparatory work and some executed in April. Our objective is clear: celebrate and document impact, highlighting and communicating the fund's achievements, milestones, and lessons learned over the past 10 years. We want to promote awareness and public engagement to raise national interest and awareness of hunger issues, nutrition, sustainable food system, sustainable livelihoods, while inspiring citizens' participation. We want to strengthen our strategic partnerships and collaborate among government ministries, the private sector, civil society, and international agencies and communities to enhance coherence, coordination, and shared accountability for food security and social protection. As we move to April, we have an ambitious program, as the Minister has said, but we don't do things small at the Zero Hunger Trust Fund. Ending hunger is a big target, and we are up to the task. The month will be a month of national engagement. Our anniversary celebration will take place in the entire month of April. This will not be a single ceremony. It is a structured national movement combining reflection, dialogue, volunteerism, youth activation, community action, and resource mobilization. Each activity has been intentionally designed to move from celebration to collective action. We're starting on April 1st, and no, we're not fooling anybody, we are informing everybody on April 1st with a commemorative opening and a national Zero Hunger dialogue. When we begin in April, we will begin with a high-level opening and a national hunger dialogue that will formally launch the 10-year impact report and present the ZHTF Strategic Plan 2026-2030, setting the direction for the next phase of our work, while we also introduce the proposals for the next period, including recognizing April 6th as Zero Hunger Day. Minister. The national dialogue will bring together policymakers, youth leaders, schools, stakeholders, far and wide from St. Vincent and the Grenadines, farmers, development partners, community representatives, to strengthen coordination and chart the next phase of national food security action. It will officially launch the National Youth Food System Framework. You heard some members of the Youth and Agriculture Network is with us, where youth leaders will form a network to build capacity, penetrate markets, and advocate for policies and systems for food transformation in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. There will also be a mini expo featuring the work of the ZHTF, its partners, and its beneficiaries. After 10 years of foundation building, we are now focusing on system strengthening. On the same April 1st, we will launch our National Essay and Art Competition. This competition under the theme Hunger Free SVG, My Role, My Future, is an initiative that invites students, and we will speak about the categories when we do the launch from grade 9, from 9 years old to 21 across St. Vincent and the Grenadines, to reflect creatively on their role in shaping a hunger-free and climate-resilient St. Vincent and the Grenadines. But this competition will inspire students, where the winning students will receive full established backyard garden, should they not have one at home. The winning school would either get a backyard school garden if they don't have a garden, or a strengthened garden where they have a garden. The winning art will be featured on the ZHTF billboard. I would not tell you where it is now because I do not wish to draw attention. We are not asking our young people to imagine change. We are shaping and equipping them to practice it. Because youth are not simply beneficiaries of food security policy. They are the architects of our future food system. We will also be launching a call to action where in the next 5 years we are asking St. Vincent and the Grenadines to create 10,000 gardens for 2030. We started last year and we feel this is not even an ambitious target by the response we have seen for Vincentians. So we are asking everybody to join us, households, churches, schools, community groups, corporate teams to register and grow your gardens. Don't make Zero Hunger a liar. We will do this by 2030. We have 5 years. We sure can do this. This initiative encourages families and communities to plant, grow, and document their contribution to national food resilience. It's about behavioral change. It's about reconnecting households to food production. And it's about strengthening climate resilience at the most local level. Through our digital pledge platform, citizens will be able to publicly commit into supporting Zero Hunger and turning awareness into action. From April 5th to the 11th, this is the time that we are focusing on volunteering and giving back. The celebration will translate into service, where we will host volunteerism and give back week as we mobilize communities across the country to continue the movement that we started last year and step towards building a lasting culture of shared responsibilities. The week will include a symbolic tree planting drive that we started with schools last year, 10 fruit trees planted across the country, one representing each year of ZHTF journey. During the week, we will have a call for We Can Drive. It encourages individuals, civil society, private sector partners, and community to give back through acts of service, food donation, mentoring, and community engagement. The activities that we are calling on all stakeholders to join us in is the National Food Collection and Distribution Drives, We Can Feed, community cleanups and replanting efforts, We Can Grow, school and youth volunteer projects, We Can Serve, corporate and civil society contributing to ZHTF programs, We Can Support. We are asking you to join this movement as we make it the centerpiece of our celebration. We will also recognize April 6th, where ZHTF and its partners, and hopefully we can get national buy-in, will focus on the same theme of giving back in one of these forms. We will look forward to culminating the celebrations on the 25th and 26th of April with a national Thanksgiving and reflection service. And we said service loosely because it's not one service. We are asking the entire church, sector of St. Vincent and the Grenadines to participate with us and have that day, which day you worship, whether it's on the 25th or the 26th, dedicated for a service of thanksgiving and reflection. We're asking the churches to worship under the theme with gratitude for the past, we resolve for the future. We will join the 7 days at HTF and its stakeholders. We will join the 7-day Adventists on the 25th, and we will join the Kingston Baptist Church for celebrations and worship on the 26th. We end our celebration with a Zero Hunger Gala and Community Food Security Award. This is a flagship event which will celebrate our journey while we mobilize resources for our future. We will honor hunger champions, individuals, schools, farmers, youth leaders, community groups, and private sector partners who contributed to strengthening food security and resilience. The gala will formally launch the ZHTF Endowment Fund as a long-term financing mechanism designed to secure program continuity and ensure that the decade of impact is sustainable. This gala is about stewardship. It's about ensuring that what we build over 10 years is strengthened for the next 10 years and behind. You can partner and participate with this anniversary by 5 clear ways to part. Volunteer during Give Back Week, register under the 10,000 Garden Challenge, encourage youth participation in essay and art competition, sponsor a program or an award, and contribute to the ZHTF Endowment Fund. Whether you are a household, a farmer, a school, a business, or a diaspora supporter, or a development partner, there's a role for you. This anniversary is not just about events, it's about engagement, national ownership, and deepening partnership and strengthening systems that will secure food and nutrition for generations to come. 10 years ago, the Zero Hunger Trust Fund was created as a response to hunger. Today, it stands a national platform for resilience, partnership, and sustainable development as we look forward to the next decade. Our commitment is clear: stronger systems, broader partnership, youth leadership, climate resilience, and measurable impact. The St. Vincent and the Grenadines institutionalized its fight against hunger. Now, we invite the nation to renew that commitment with us. April 26th is not simply an anniversary month, it is a national call to action. Join us, plant with us, volunteer with us, partner with us, invest with us, because zero hunger is not the responsibility of one institution. It is a shared responsibility of a nation. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. The ambiance and atmosphere is so grateful, I really feel like I don't have to do a vote of thanks at this moment. So, my name is Shafiq Sam, and I have the distinct honor and privilege of delivering this vote of thanks for this very meaningful occasion. As the Grammy Award-winning artist Coffee reminded us, gratitude is a must. And in that spirit, we pause to express sincere appreciation to all that made today's media launch, both inspiring and purposeful. First, we extend a heartfelt thanks to the technical and production team for the powerful documentary that captured the impact of Zero Hunger Trust Fund over the past 10 years. The story told through those images also is a call to action, reminding us of our shared responsibility to ensure that St. Vincent is food secure. We express deep appreciation to Mrs. Jocelyn Blake Brown, the Deputy Chief Education Officer, for her thoughtful overview of the 10-year impact of Zero Hunger Trust Fund. As a student of history, she reminds us that understanding where we come from is important in shaping where we must go. She highlighted the transformation of the role of Zero Hunger Trust Fund and the programs, such as the school feeding program, and how improved learning and behavioral outcomes are attributed to improved nutritional quality for students. Indeed, the next decade will require scaling, impacting, and building resilience for tomorrow. We must, at this point, acknowledge the Board of Trustees who are here representing themselves today. Once again, let's give a round of applause for the Board of Trustees. Their stewardship, governance, and unwavering commitment to ending zero hunger in St. Vincent has allowed Zero Hunger Trust Fund over the decade to do this job, so much so that even after leaving the board, we still have favorable relations, so it's important. What I would like to say before we go, I'd like to extend deep appreciation to the bilateral and multilateral partners as seen here by representatives from the Republic of China and Taiwan, FAO, the World Food Programme, and our private sector. We can't underscore having the private sector on board because we require all hands on deck. As we depart today, let us carry one simple but urgent truth. Food security must be generational. It requires all hands on deck. On behalf of Zero Hunger Trust Fund, I extend sincere thanks to everyone that contributed to the successful media launch. I thank you, and may we continue to work together for a future where no Vincentian goes hungry. Have a good morning.